we're gonna talk about using an MPC server using Cloud Code. So actually using an MCP server inside Cloud Code. How we get it set up, how we use it, how we check to make sure that it's working. And then we'll actually use the MCP server and give it and have it do something for us and have us build something. And so what we have here is a terminal window. We've got a terminal window, and I've also got just a markdown file that sort of describes the app that we're going to build. But we don't have to go into that yet. But first off, the first thing you want to do after you've already installed Cloud Code CLI and you've logged in, you type Claude and you type MCP list, and this will give you a list of all the installed MCP servers. Obviously, when you're just getting started, there won't be any MCP servers. There'll be none. You will have none in them here. And it says use Claude MCP add to add an MPC server. So you'll typically do this using probably a node module with over npm. And it goes like this. You say Claude MCP add, just like it said before. And I like to add a little bit extra to this. I like to add -- scope user. So that way it installs the MCP server to work in all of the repositories and all the other directories. If you don't add that, then it'll only work for that local directory. And then you'll have to continually manually re-add your MCP server over and over and over. So it's kind of a problem. So we're going to say PubNub in this case, scope user. Then you say -- to specify the MCP server command. And that's going to be, in this case, what is it? I think it's npx, right? So npx-y at pubnub/mcp. And then that should it'll download it through npx and resolve the dependencies. And it looks like added MCP server with the pubnub command. Okay, so I think it works. So in order to check to make sure that it's working, you want to say Claude MCP list, and then it will list out, and then it should say like connected with a check mark, and it's checking the health of the MCP server. And so that's what we should see is a healthy check mark on the MCP server. It should come up here within any moment now. There it goes. Okay, so we see here we've got our PubNub npx-y MCP server, and it says connected, right? So that's the important part is you've got this check mark right here where it says connected, and then you know that you're ready to go. So all you have to do is type Claude and enter the AI agent, the AI code agent who's going to build something for us today. We are going to be building a Twitch-style multi-user streaming app, for example. So that's what we're going to build. So actually, you can issue / commands in Claude, including MCP, to see what is going on here. Which is great because, look, check this out. You've got PubNub connected, and then you can enter on it so you can get more details. You can see what's available. By connecting the MCP server, how do you use it? What's available inside it? So you can actually go further. So let's dig in. Status connected. It's running through npx. Other kinds, you would see Docker. You might see a Docker command there as well. You can see the arguments. Then you can see where it's configured. So this is, a global configuration. This is going to say this MCP server is going to be available to you from all your different projects, which is fantastic. This is what we want because we don't want to have to continuously reinstall it every single time. So we have several tools here. Looks like we got quite a few. We've got some documentation that helps improve the context. Then you've got some commands such as sending a message. And also, I believe there is receiving a message. And then there's a couple other things as well in here. So the things that we'll be mostly focused on are reading the docs because we're going to be building a PubNub app. So in order to invoke the MCP, you need to give the model a hint in your prompt to invoke the MCP. And you have to do that by using keywords. So write a PubNub app, and then that is like generally enough to get it going. You could also add using PubNub MCP server just to make sure that it definitely is going to call the MCP. It might not. You never know. Sometimes it doesn't. But in this case, it definitely probably should. To build a Twitch style, what we want to do is build a Twitch style app with live streaming and chat with a chat on like the side. the right side of the video. There we go. And then, is that enough? If we do that, let's go into plan mode really quick. So what you do is you hold Shift and you press Tab on your keyboard to enter in plan mode. You just use Shift and Tab, and that will shift it between the different modes. And so we're going to plan mode here because we want to see. Oh wait, I almost forgot one thing. We also have an architecture.md reference the architecture.md file for guidelines, like guidelines and specs. So that's what we want. We want to be able to give the model a little bit extra context. So I should be able to press enter. It's going to run the MCP server, run the tool. It's probably going to ask a few questions to give permissions to run the tool. And then it will also read our architecture file here. So let's see if it actually goes. We should get prompted here next with a yes, no, or something to read the MCP docs. Let's see if it works. Let's see if we got here. This is what. This is it. We're here. We did it. Okay. So it wants to use a tool from the MCP server, write a PubNub app, and this is going to give it some boilerplate instructions. And so we'll say yes, don't ask again, because it's just reading information. There's not really anything that we have to worry about from a permissions perspective going forward on that, because it's just reading docs. And so we want to see it might also call another MCP. Here we go. Okay, so is this is our next phase. Okay, so let's read through this really quick. Here's the plan. A Twitch-style live stream app.
User input.
And we want the project structure to be front-end client, CSS and HTML output, video reactions overlays, Twitch, which is great. So HTML5 video, and just kind of looking through the rest of it here. I think that's basically all what we're looking for. And this should be able to build our UI. Let's see. Let me double check. The app will follow the exact architecture patterns defined in Architecture MD using the MCP server for all real-time functionality. That's exactly what we're looking for. This is like a perfect demonstration of an MCP server is helping guide through extra context the AI model, the Cloud Code in this case, to build to our specifications essentially. So let's do it. Yeah, I think all we do is click. Oops. Wait, what did I click? I think I clicked yes and don't ask me again. But it's also possible that I clicked a different yes. I'll have to go back in the video to see what it said. Which one did I clicked one of the yes buttons, because clearly it's off to the running. I'll just click auto accept edits here. I'll shift tab into it. I think that's what I did. I clicked yes, but confirm to me all the different things. So here it goes. Off it's up to running. It's creating. No, now we just basically sit back. Really, we sit back and it should build everything for us in this case. The UI, everything all in one, and it's really simple, really super easy. Using the MCP server, it helps streamline that experience quite a bit. And it is using, there we go, using our SDK, and then it will build the client configuration and connection, implement the real-time chat functionality, video overlay, view counts, presence indicator. And it's probably going to make it look like Twitch is what it's saying here. So it'll be purple, right? It's going to be purple coloring. And then they'll implement the RAID notifications and events. And then it looks like it's going to test it for us. We'll see how it goes. It's definitely going to take some time here, a little bit of time it's going to go to make that possible. While that's going, I also wanted to. It'll notify us, so I can tab out. But I also kind of wanted to check out this article here while the code is being written for us in the background. Let's take a look at see where our progress is on our MCP server really quick. It's still thinking. It's still going. It's most of the way through the list. Let's see here. Oh, hey, plush list. What are we doing? we're doing a couple things. We're doing a couple of things. Right now, we're waiting on we're testing MCP server. So we got Cloud Code. We installed the MCP server. Actually, you can kind of pipe up here really quick to the top so we can see. So you can run Claude list, MCP list, which will tell you you have nothing installed, right? And so in order to add MCP server, it's actually pretty easy. You say Claude MCP add PubNub, and then my favorite option is scoping to the user. Because when you say scope user, that means essentially global. If you don't put that, you'll have to constantly re-add the MCP server every single time you run in a new project. And it's kind of a lot of extra effort. So it's just a lot easier so I recommend using scope user like this. And then right after it is the MCP command. So npx-y at pubnub/MCP. And that will give you the MCP installation. Once it's there, you can run MCP list and it will tell you that it's connected with this check mark. And so what we did was, now we're actually using it. We're using this model, and we wanted it to write we want it to build Twitch for us. Let's build Twitch, like a live stream. I know we're on YouTube right now and we're live streaming on YouTube, but if we're writing that, we're building Twitch. So that's what we're doing. And it gave us a full guide on how it's going to do that. So it's almost done. And while we're waiting at this moment, while we're waiting for it to be done, what we're going to do is we're just reading through this article. We're doing a couple things here. One, we're testing out we're showing how to use and install an MCP server into Claude. And while we wait for Claude, we are testing out the infinity keyword in CSS. And we're doing a couple things here. We're playing with Cloud Code and installing an MCP server and using it. I'm just curious, right before we go back to the MCP server, is there any practicality in this, or if there's anything else here? Right on, just real quick, if we tried one more thing with CSS Infinity and then we'll jump back to the MCP server, I think that'll be the plan. We probably want to jump back to the MCP server just to see where we're at, but this was entertaining. I like it. So we see a word here. What is this word? I'm just kind of curious. I want to see what this word is real quick, and then we'll jump back to MCP. Our AI models are already good enough to do these things. The thing is leveraging them in a way that is practical. Here's where we were live yesterday and we were talking a little bit about this, but there is a hidden agenda from OpenAI that is very obvious to me. I can see it. And they're not hiding it either, but it's what potentially, if everyone else is on board with this, will take them to the next level. They'll take over the world. They have this thing called tool calling, and it is built into their languages and their open source models tool. These tool calls, these function calls that make the model become as deterministic as a human would. It's phenomenal, and I use it all the time. And I tell you, it does exactly what you want it to do. It's amazing at how good it is, and we just got started with it. So why isn't it exploded and take over the world yet? Because you have to apply it to specific use cases. That's what we're doing. That's what we started with. So we started with Claude MCP, getting that up and running, and we did. We got it up and running, and we do need to go back to it here. Okay, so here we are. Let's say proceed onward. Here. So for everyone else who has just joined, we'll kind of scroll back. So we started the stream specifically focused on MCP and how to use it and how to leverage it in Cloud Code. So number one, the first thing, you want to list your MCP servers. So Claude MCP list. From getting started, there will be no MCP servers at all. There will be none there. So you want to say Claude MCP add PubNub, which is the name of the MCP server. You could give it whatever name you want. I just said PubNub. And then you can say scope user. This is a really good tip. So when you're adding MCP to Claude, make sure to say scope user. Because what this does is it prevents you from having to constantly re-add the MCP server. It makes it available always. So it's really beneficial. Then you say -- or hyphen to specify what the MCP starting server command is. So npx-y app pubnub /MCP, and that will install the MCP server. So it says added the MCP server, and we did it. You've successfully added the MCP server to Claude. And what you can do from there is you can confirm that it's installed. So you say Claude MCP list, and then it will print it out. And so now we can vibe code. Now we can vibe code with PubNub and using the MCP server. So you build an MCP host or client. So we built a client that you can download through npx. Oh, actually, it's a good point. Okay, so this is a server. This is the MCP server, and the client will be Claude, right? Because the client is the user of the system, and the host is the server. So the MPC server here. So we've got the MCP server, which is running through stdio, which is JSON RPC stdio, which is the standard for MCP servers. And that runs in a separate Node.js process on your own system. That's kind of how it works. So if we were to draw that, actually, let's do a quick little drawing to see what that looks like. Let me open up some sort of drawing app. Is there like an online drawing app? I know there's like a photo pad or a sketch. Is there just like a really easy one that we can use? Start drawing. Okay. Let's see if we can do this. Let's see if we can make this possible. So there's a draw. There's an auto draw. Interesting. A fill. Is that okay? I think that's good enough. I think we're good. Okay. So how do MCP servers work? So you build MCP host or client. You can do both. You can build either. Which server? So typically when you're building MCP, you're talking about building the MCP server, because that's the one that's going to be connected to by clients such as the AIs. The AIs are the client. So you've got something like Chat GPT. You've also got Cloud Code, right? You've got OPEX or Codex, and you've got Gemini. These are the clients. So these will be the clients, the MCP clients. There we go. That's how that looks. So these are the MCP clients. And then from there, you have the MCP server. So let's see what the MCP server looks like. That will be a list, or you might want to really? Oh, Jay Looney, that's a good one. Okay, so you say excaldraw. Let's try that out. EXCALIDRA. Excalidra. It's like Excalibur, right? Oh, sweet. That's kind of what we're looking for. Ooh, I like this. This is sweet. Oh, this is a good one. This is very satisfying. Okay. Very nice. Thank you. Yeah. All right. So let's see if we'll just port this over. Let's see if we got some text here. Let's get this back. All right. So we've got our Chat GPT. Can we make it bigger? Can we make the font bigger? How do we do that? Are we doing, let's just keep clicking plus. Okay. MCP host equals MCP client. Kind of. Yes, you're right. Okay, so what you're saying there is you're putting equal signs in between them because they connect between each other. So that's a really good visualization. So we've got the MCP clients here, and then we also have some MCP hosts. So MCP hosts, which will be the server, right? For example, that would be our PubNub MCP server. So this is the host, and how it connects to itself. Let's see if we can do this. Let me see. Draw like a line. Here we go. And that does that through standard IO, JSON RPC standard IO between the two. So we go here and we say stdio JSON, and it's basically RPC, which means that there's no headers. It's just raw JSON in, raw JSON out in between them. And this typically, commonly this is Node.js via npx. There you go. And so that's the common interface. But you can also have Docker, and you can have anything else that's an executable, any kind of binary on the machine. The reason why npx is more, you can also have VUI, I think, VUX, I think. is a Python version. So you can have a Python version of that. And this essentially, so let me copy beneath. I'm going to copy and paste your, I'm going to copy and paste your example, which is the ultimate implementation. So here we go. So MCP connects into the client like this. So see if we can make that font size a little bit bigger. There we go. Here we go. And that's kind of what that looks like. So you get the MCP host, which is actually I got to reverse those because I drew them differently. Here we go. Boom. So on the left, you've got the clients, the MCP clients. And these are things like ChatGPT, Claude Code, and Codex, and Gemini. There we go. And then on the other side is the host, which is the server. So, and that can be run with Node.js or Python or Docker or things like that. And so that's how the MCP server works. And then your AI will, it doesn't directly, obviously the LLM itself doesn't directly make calls. What makes calls to the server, the host, is the client aspect, which is the agent. This is the AI agent. And the AI agent typically does two things. It wraps things together. So it's the merging of the two. So let me see if I can draw it. Actually, we can build host also as well. Yeah, you totally can. Absolutely. It kind of looks like this. Let me see how I can think of it. So you've got what the agent will combine these two things. So the agent lives outside of this. The agent is here. Agent. The agent will combine these. So it combines the AI model, and then it uses the AI model by submitting the instructions. So we can actually go over here. See here. Okay. So what we can do is /MCP. So we see PubNub is here, and we view the tools. So here's a list of all the tools and the MCP server. So you get a bunch of different tools. And what the agent does is it will say, hey, AI model, check this out. Here's all of the tools that are available. All the tools that are available. So it takes all the tools that are available, and then it passes them over to the AI model. And then the AI model will then decide, does it want to call that MCP tool? And then the AI agent will recognize the request for that and do the call for it. So there's actually three pieces of software here. There's a lot of indirection, but it's kind of neat how it works, and it's all done through standard I/O. And so when I drew these arrows initially, they weren't quite right. These are not quite right from an arrow perspective. It's really more that the agent is interacting between the two. So it kind of goes like this. So the agent is orchestrating everything, and the agent in this case, can be any kind of software. It's another Node.js thing or some sort of UI, and that's kind of how that works. Okay. So now let's check this out. Let's jump back here. Okay. We have some packages. Okay. Command timed out. We don't need to worry about that. I think we did it. Oh, it couldn't test. Okay, so we're almost done. So before we end stream here, we want to make sure that this looks good. We want to make sure that the MCP is all happy and we got everything that we needed. So let's see what we got. Let's see what it built for us. All right, so we've got app.js, chat.js, demo.js, index. Let's open up package.json. Let's see what it gave us. Okay. Dev dependencies, which is interesting because I was very sure I was going to see some other dependencies here because we asked for them. Dep. Yeah, no dependencies. Weird. I'm all right. Well, let's find out. So we can say npm start. Is that what it wanted? Yep. npm start. Let's see. Okay. Let's see if that works. Okay. Is it going to work? It's always a gamble. This is always a gamble. Oh, oh wow! Check that out. Oh, it looks so cool. Oh, you can't see it on you because I jumped over to a different screen here. Let's pop it open. All right. So now you can see it. Check this out. So by using the MCP, it built it built essentially a near perfect clone for Twitch, the Twitch app. Isn't that neat? And that's just all through using the Twitch server. Oh, wait, I'm going to pause that. Hold on. I don't know what that video is. I have no idea what that video is, but it could be copywritten. So I don't want to, just from a caution perspective, I don't want to be careful. Can't see the whole screen. It should show up here. Yeah, it should show up here in a bit. So we've got our Twitch video on the left side, and then we've got a chat here. And so start demo. Let's see. I bet you we have to do some configuration. Oh, whoa, what's going on? I don't know. It's doing something. Oh, viewer 3. This is a lot cooler than I thought it was going to be. I was not expecting that at all. Look at that. Oh, that's so cool. And that's wow, I was not expecting that. So you can see here we're having like the AI has a sense of humor. Oh, that was great. I love that. This is fantastic. It built the whole UI for us, and it's even demonstrating it for us, and we're just sitting here. Isn't that great? Oh, wow. I love that. What the heck? This is maybe better output than I've ever seen. Isn't that cool? Jay Looney, you're so right, and here's why. It's because it's the MCP server. That's what the power of the MCP server is, and that's what this stream is about. It makes it so much better. What are your thoughts about Gemini 3? It's fantastic. It's a powerful model from a coding perspective. It also is great from generating code. Just testing it myself, I've had really good experience. I do still list Cloud Code above the others, just from because it's mostly the framework, right? The Cloud Code CLI is really good workflow. They've just kind of nailed that workflow, the dev cycle, the iterative dev cycle. You define the spec, it writes the code, it reads the code, and then it fixes errors, and it goes through that loop, and it just does a really good job. I think it does a really good job. And so for Gemini to catch up, they need to have a similar experience, which they've done. See, look at I love how it's just doing this for us. That is so cool. So yeah, it did it. There's a subscribe button and there's a follow button. Oh, that is fantastic. All right, I had the best time. This was the best time. Real quick, what is Gemini version of Claude Code? What is that called? It's called, there's a name for it. They've come out with it. I can't remember what it is. It's the Gemini version. It's the Gemini CLI, but it's got a name. It's got a name for it. Do you know what it is? Oh, you prefer Sonnet for? Oh yeah. Here's the thing that you want with AIs. You want the AI to do as much of the work for you as you can. Right? You want the AI to do all the work for you, and you want to be able to sit back. And so I found that Claude Code has done a really good job with that. Like a really, really good job. It makes it so much easier just to sit back and have it do everything for you. As you can see here, look, check it out. It built this whole experience for us. I'm really curious what this video is. I'm not going to go too far. Oh, wait, what is it? I have no idea what this is. It just came out of nowhere. But so like Sonnet built this for us. Isn't that great? But with the MCP server. So that's it. That's the victory here. And we had raids. Let's test the raid again. Raid. I thought that was really cool. That is really neat. Wasn't that satisfying? Okay, so I think that does it for us. That we achieved our goal. So we did it. We achieved the goal. We used Cloud Code. We installed the PubNub MCP server. And then at the same time, we were able to get it to write a full app for us. Wasn't that great? Yeah, this is the power of combining an MCP server with a coding agent like Cloud Code. It can go that much further. And with a simple prompt, I'll show you. The prompt was just so simple. And then I got to get going because I got another meeting coming up here. But let's check this out. Let's jump up here. It was a really simple prompt. Here we go. Run. Almost there. Here we go. This is it. We're looking at it right now. Here it is on the screen. I've highlighted it. It's right here. Write a PubNub app using PubNub MCP server to build a Twitch-style app with live streaming, chat on the right side of the video. And then I specified an architecture for guidelines, which just says, use React and Redux and things like that. And that's it. Boom. And then it built this for us. Isn't that cool? And it even included a real working video. What is this video? Check this out. So we built this amazing thing. Actually, we had the AI build it for us. We couldn't have done it without the PubNub MCP server. So Google PubNub MCP server, and you'll run into some marketing pages, but also Google has some information for us. We use the PubNub MCP server, which is an open source AI-enabled development environment for interacting directly with PubNub's SDKs and global infrastructure. So this is what makes that interactive capability, right? We're chatting in YouTube chat, you're chatting in Twitch chat. Well, PubNub gives you the same capability. It sort of empowers those experiences, but it goes further because you can interact in different ways, like all these like cool little things that show up on the screen that counts as interactions. That counts as interactions on the stream. And so that's what the MCP server does. And then you plug that into Cloud Code, and it becomes a really easy to use command line system. This was it. This is all we did. We just wrote this simple prompt, and it built this for us using the PubNub MCP server. Isn't that cool? It's amazing. And it built this wonderful, and it's mobile friendly too, which is amazing. Like you can see like it's responsive design. It's really cool. So I can zoom in. Now it's a mobile view, right? I love it. It's so cool. And then we also, what else would we do here? We talked about how an MCP server works. We kind of walked through that. So we did some MCP server client and host descriptions and how stdio JSON RPC. And talking about the secret power of OpenAI's capabilities. We did talk about data science, right? We did talk about the different things that you can do in data science. Python, SQL is the good ones. So we did have a little mini data science conversation. And then we talked about how AIs are really powerful, and there's a hidden secret capability in AIs that is going to be taking over, and it's called OpenAI's function calling. This turns non-deterministic output into deterministic output, and it guarantees it. It's 100% guaranteed. Whereas in non-deterministic output, that means it's going to give you random text. How do you even automate something like that? You can't just automate anything like that. It just won't work. It just doesn't work. So that's you need something like this in a framework. And this is actually a lot of the power is behind why Cloud Code is so good, because it kind of uses a similar approach. And that's what you get with MCP servers as well. So I think we did it. I think we did it. We talked about MCP servers. We built the app. It did a really good job. It made it a lot of fun. It built the UI for us, and it was beautiful. So we did it. We did it. We achieved our goal. We did it. We made it work, and it worked way better than we thought with one simple prompt. And that's how powerful the PubNub MCP server is. Isn't that great? It's all you got to do is just install the MCP server, and then you get a lot better outputs. It just is a much better experience.